I put a little too much, so I had to pour it off, and now I've got just a little too little. I should be more careful here. Okay, 75 grams of water and 1 tablespoon of the active sourdough starter. So just going to take a good heaping, well, maybe I should stir this up a bit. And 1 tablespoon. It's a pretty healthy tablespoon. And I'm just going to stir all this together and let this sit out overnight. So then tomorrow we will be making the sourdough bread. Okay, yes, I don't think that this ball is going to be large enough by the time it expands. I'd forgotten, it's been a while since I made sourdough bread. And yes, this leaven will expand well beyond that bowl. So we're just going to cover this up now with some cellophane. Okay, I've got my cellophane there, and I've just covered it up with the cellophane. Leave this overnight, and we'll start the process again in the morning. Now okay, and the balance of my sourdough, I'm just going to put it back in the refrigerator, and that way I won't have to feed it for a week or so. Okay? Okay, so my leaven has developed overnight, and it's all bubbly. So I think that we are ready to make some sourdough bread. Okay, and the next stage is to take about a 1/4 cup of water and a tablespoon of salt and mix the two. And stirring this occasionally to make sure that the salt dissolves. Okay, now we take the leaven. Okay, I'm still stirring the salt, water, making sure it dissolves. Okay, and I'm taking the leaven and 2 cups of water and pouring the water into the leaven. And you want to mix this up. And it doesn't matter if it's totally dissolved or not, but you do want to mix this up. Okay, now we want to add 5½ cups of flour to this, and I've already measured it, so I'm just going to add it in and mix it up. Okay, well, you can let this rest for 30 minutes, and that's what I did, or even up to 4 hours. Now I have transferred it all to my mixer bowl, not because I am going to use the mixer, but because this bowl is a good size. And now I'm going to add in the rest of the water with salt. And we're just going to mix that in with our fingers. We're going to begin folding the dough here. So what we want to do is take it over and fold it over. Take it and fold it over. Take it and fold it over. And we want to do this about 6 baskets. And we're going to leave it for 30 minutes each time. Okay, I'm doing my second fold over. And we do this every half hour for about 2.5 hours. And you'll notice that the consistency of the dough changes when you're done. Okay. Okay, so after you have folded it for 2.5 hours and then let it rest for 30 to 60 minutes, now we're going to cut this dough in half. And we're going to shape it. Now they want you to use proofing baskets, and I do have one. But I'm just going to use a one of my mixing bowls, and I'm going to add a lot of flour. And the recipe says to use your pastry scraper to create a tight ball, but I'm just doing that by hand. And of course you want a lot of flour if you're going to just use a mixing bowl. You're supposed to flour the proofing baskets. Okay, so that's one. Same idea here. Lots of flour. And I don't intend to leave these as loaves. I probably will turn them into buns, but we'll see. I haven't made a firm decision on that yet. Okay, my sourdough bread has actually sat in these containers for a couple of hours, and now I'm going to take them out, and because I don't want to make loaves, I want to make buns, I'm going to cut this into 4. Yes, 4. And I will shape them again. And once again, I'm going to cut the loaf into 4. And work each one into a small bun. Now they say to let this rise for a certain amount of time, I'm going to leave it longer. I always do. I find that the time that they recommend never seems to be quite enough, so. Okay, so I'm probably going to leave these for about 2 hours. And we'll let them rise and then we'll come back.